internet, which is another way of saying the world, pretty much these days. I'm not sure if we are on Facebook. That's always the last one to join us. But if you are watching this, then welcome to the Missing Sock Corner of the World Storytelling Cafe. This is where we tell our epic tales. It looks like we are all good and going. If you are watching this, you are very welcome to actually join us here in the World Storytelling Cafe if you've got a camera or a microphone, or to be honest, even if you don't have those things, because you can still come in here and join me live. You can do that by visiting epictales.co.uk and clicking on the little join story button, and you'll be right here. And if you do have a microphone, I'll then be able to hear your yays and your oohs and your ahs and your and all sorts of things like that. If you have a camera, I'll be able to see your big smiles and your worried faces and, well, any other faces you have, really. I'll be able to see your face, but no one else will. Don't worry. If you do come in here, we're not going to share your face with anyone else on the internet. It will just be everybody here in the World Storytelling Cafe. And again, you can turn your camera off if you're wearing your pajamas or something like that. I know that sometimes children go into school in their pajamas, don't they? You've probably been into school in your pajamas, right? Here at Epic Tales, we are sharing completely free stories with all of you folks every single week. We have lots of fun doing it. We know from our Epic Postbag that you have lots of fun watching them. And on Monday, I told a really important story because today is a special day. Do you know what today is? If you do, because you were listening on Monday, or because you just happen to be supremely knowledgeable, then you'll know why I'm really excited about this story. You've already heard half of it, maybe, and so you'll be looking forward to the second part. But there is only going to be a second part if, of course, we have something in our epic postbag in response to our epic challenge. Do you think we have something this week? Do you know, I realized as I was putting on this shirt for this video that my shirt is a bit of a clue, actually. You can usually tell if we've had something in our epic postbag by the shirt that I'm wearing. That's not always going to be the case, but I think it's definitely the case today. So what do you think? Have we got something or not? There's everybody now thinking, what shirt was he wearing last week? Because last week we didn't have anything in our epic postbag. It was a really busy week last week, and that's why Janina wasn't able to finish her story. She still can, though. She still can if you watch the story of the Shapeshifter and you have a go at that epic challenge. Janina will be back to tell part 2 of the Shapeshifter, and you'll get to find out what happens to Robin Goodfellow, or Puck, as he's better known in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. But the story that I told you on Monday was a different story. It was called The Woodcutter's Golden Wand. Don't think I mentioned that. We don't usually talk about the titles, do we? You can call it whatever you like, to be honest. It's your story now. As soon as I tell it, it's your story. And I hope you'll go on and tell it with other people, because that's what we storytellers like to do. We like to see folks like you going out and telling our stories to, well, everybody else. That's why we do what we do. If you are on the way to watching it, then you will know that we have an introduction coming up, and in that introduction there is going to be a little star flying out of a book where I will give a couple of claps in time with the music, and see if you can join in. See if you can get your claps in time with the music too. There are a couple of drum beats that go doo-doosh, and we want you to go like that. I'm going to be doing it. But Janina is going to demonstrate in the sun, star, sun. The sun is a star. I feel like there should be a story about that, shouldn't there? Or maybe have one soon. But right now, Janina is going to appear in the star any moment now. And when she does, she's going to give a couple of claps. So let's see if we can get ours in time with her. So wait for Janina to appear. There we go. Did we get them? Yeah, did you get yours? When we come to the introduction, I'll be in the star, and we want you to be doing those claps if you can to welcome in the story. Don't worry if you can't though. I am going to hopefully share the story anyway. Once we have checked inside our epic post bag to see what is in there, if at all anything. We've got less than 20 seconds to go now before we find out what the ending of Monday's story is going to be, if there is something in our epic post bag. 5 seconds to find out if there's anything in there. Get ready to clap. Here we go. Here it comes. Well, welcome back here to the Missing Sock Corner of the World Storytelling Cafe, where we are sharing our epic tales with you. I am your storyteller, Chip, and it is my huge pleasure to welcome you here, especially on a Friday at 2 o'clock, especially this Friday, because this is a very special Friday, isn't it? This Friday is Forest Friday. It's a day to celebrate forests. Forests are amazing places, aren't they, with magical creatures inside. Things like fairies and maybe beasts. All sorts of wonderful stories take place in forests. I wonder how many you can think of. Maybe next week we'll explore that a little bit more, because this week we were telling a very important story about a forest. More importantly, a story about a woodcutter who went to work in a forest. And if you saw that story on Monday, you, I'm sure, will remember that this woodcutter, he had to chop down a tree so he could get some wood to make some chairs, to sell for money, to get some food so that he could eat to live. And of course, we all need to eat, don't we? In the story, though, every single tree that he met spoke to him. They were talking trees. And they were begging him not to chop them down. And even though he really had to chop down a tree so that he could get some wood to make some chairs, to sell for money, to buy some food, to, well, eat, to live, he didn't chop down the trees. He was very good about it, wasn't he? He actually listened to what the trees had to say, and he let them live. But at the end, he did get rewarded with a gift from a fairy. And this gift, you may remember, was a golden wand, a golden magic wand with which he could get any wish that he asked for. Do you remember what he asked for? Yeah, I think the first thing was a honey sandwich. And do you remember the second thing he asked for? Yeah, I think the second thing he asked for was a shining suit. And these were brought to him by the creatures of the forest. Now, your epic challenge this week, if you were there on Monday, was to let us know what you thought the woodcutter would wish for next. Or you also had the option of pretending that you were a tree and writing a letter or drawing a picture or sending us a video to say why the tree should not get chopped down. Well, in our epic postbag, did anybody send us anything? I am very pleased to say yes, we have had a fantastic video come to us from none other but a young girl of 6 years old called Alice from Radwinter Primary School, who saw the story on Monday and decided to have a think about what the woodcutter might wish for. And well, because she sent us a video, I can actually share it with you. So which button do I need to press? I think it's this one.
Hi, Tip.
Hello.
I think the woodcutter should wish for a rocket. He can fly to different forests, and it has a claw on the bottom. Don't pretend.
Wow.
So it can dig holes for trees, put the trees in, and then.
Oh, okay. What an amazing thing to wish for. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? He'd be able to rocket away. I'm not sure what you were going to say at the end there, Alice, but it looked like he was maybe going to be able to go on a holiday, or maybe there was something about that ship, wasn't there, that would allow him to make his job even easier, so that he would be able to get those trees chopped down without having to do all of the work himself. What an amazing idea. That is brilliant. So thank you. Thank you so much for sending that in, Alice. That is really inspiring. I'm sure everybody watching this would be able to wish for something like that. Having seen your idea, maybe they will be getting creative with their wishes now, thinking, oh yeah, maybe he could wish for a teleporter so that he could go on holiday, or maybe he would wish for a spaceship that can travel super fast so it can go all the way to the center of the galaxy so he can go on holiday somewhere no one has ever been before. What an inspired idea. But of course, because you have shared your story with us, Alice, we can now share our story with you. I can now share with you part 2 of The Woodcutter's Golden Wand. And the woodcutter, standing there in the forest, looking at this golden magic wand, realized that now he could have anything he wanted. And the first thought that came into his head was a rocket ship. Something that would allow him to fly off to the moon. And he could ask for this ship, couldn't he, to maybe even help him with his job. It could be a ship that would actually do all of the chopping of the trees for him, so he would never have to work again. But then the woodcutter had another thought. Well, why should he go anywhere? Why should he do any work again anyway? He had a golden magic wand. He would never have to work to get money to go on holiday. He could actually bring the holiday to him. And so, thinking that he didn't want to do anything else ever again, just be lazy. I mean, you would, wouldn't you? If you had a magic wand, you wouldn't need to do anything else again. If anyone said to you, tidy your room, you could just go bing, and your bedroom would be tidy. So he decided that he was going to wish for a holiday, not in some other place, but right there, where he was stood right now. So he stepped out from the trees and looked up at the sun, holding up that wand. And he said, I wish that the sun will come here and give me a lovely glowing tan. He didn't need to go on holiday to find a lovely hot sun to give him a glowing tan. He could bring it right here, right now. And that's exactly what began to happen. The wand began to shake, just as it had done before, and it began to glow, just as it had done before, and the sun began to come closer. Now, do you remember, if you were watching on Monday, you will hopefully remember how we showed that the animals were getting closer. They were making a noise, weren't they? And they were getting gradually louder and louder. But what noise does the sun make? It's actually very hard to tell, because up in space there is no air. So sound doesn't travel very well. But if you really, really concentrate, this is the sound that you will hear the sun making. Shine, shine, shine. So as we were doing on Monday, I had my hands like this as a volume control, and you can make that noise too, about as loud as my hands are apart. So when my hands are like this, we shouldn't hear anything at all. But when my hands come this far apart, we should hear shine, shine, shine. And you can do the action as well if you like. Shine. Shall we try that one more time? Shine, shine, shine. And the woodcutter, who we probably can't call a woodcutter anymore because he wasn't going to chop down any more trees, he could see the sun coming closer, and he could feel the warmth on his body. So he lay down on the grass, put the wand down beside him, and began to enjoy getting a lovely glowing tan. As he did, the sun kept coming closer. So we're going to need that sound a little bit louder now. So watch my hands to give you an indication. Are you ready? Here we go. Shine, shine, shine. And again, you can be doing the action. Yep. Shine, shine. It's about this far. Shine, shine. And now the woodcutter, the ex-woodcutter, was beginning to itch a little bit because he was getting quite hot. Have you ever been so hot that you've started to get a bit itchy? Well, as the woodcutter lay there getting itchy, the sun kept coming closer. Are you ready? Be a bit louder this time. Shine, shine, shine. And now it was starting to actually get uncomfortable. The woodcutter decided that the sun was close enough. So he reached out to tell the sun to stay. The wand was made of gold, and gold is a metal. So with the sun getting so hot, the wand was extra hot. And so this meant the woodcutter couldn't pick it up. But still the sun kept coming closer. Are you ready? It's going to be really loud this time. Shine, shine, shine. And the woodcutter felt his suit begin to burn. He felt his skin begin to burn, and he began to panic. He looked all around and he saw the river. So he went running over and dived into the river with all of the water hissing around him. The sun kept coming closer. This will have to be the loudest you can possibly be. Shine, shine, shine. But now the sun was so close that the wand, being a metal, melted into a puddle of gold. And since the wand had melted, all of that magic disappeared, evaporated. And the sun went back to its proper place in the sky. The woodcutter swam up to peer out from the river, and he could see all of the trees in the clearing had been burnt black. All of the grass in the clearing had been burnt too. And the wand was no more. And the woodcutter felt very silly indeed. I wonder if that story ended the way you thought it would. It is a folk tale, a fairy tale, but it doesn't have a very happy ending, does it? That story comes from a very long time ago, when people were worried that if they got a bit too lazy, or if they didn't do enough hard work, or maybe if they were too greedy, the whole world might burn. And now, all of these years later, we are still worried that that might happen. And so on today, Forest Friday, where we remember all of the wonderful things that trees do for us, like help us breathe and give us chairs and make wonderful settings for stories. Let's also remember how important it is to look after those trees, those forests. They are so important to us. And maybe if you've heard this story and there's something that you would like to say now about forests, maybe you've got a story about one, maybe you've got an adventure that you had in your nearest forest, or maybe you want to say something about why the forest is important to you. Please do let us know by sending your ideas to epictales.co.uk/challenge. You can write something down, you can draw us a picture, or you can do what Alice did and record a little video and send that in for us as well. We really do love to see what you send in to us. And remember, this is something that all of your friends can be doing at school, so let as many people know about it as possible, especially your teachers. And you could also, as well as letting your teachers know, you could also let your brothers and sisters at home know, because anything that gets sent in to us will help us to share more stories with you. And don't forget, we've still got some more things to find in our epic postbag before Janina can tell you the end of the Shapeshifter. So we really look forward to hearing what other stories you have to send in to us. On Monday next week, we are going to, I'm so excited about Monday, we are going to keep talking about forests, but it's going to be a much happier story, I think, because joining me will be my storyteller friend, Amy, who you might remember if you've seen the videos that we did for the Oxford Owl. I think Amy told the story of the little red hen, and also about the farmer and Tom and the cat. And oh well, she told loads of stories there, and we've been telling stories together for a very long time, but I don't think Amy has been here in Epic Tales Online at the World Storytelling Cafe once yet. So it's going to be her debut on Monday, 9:30 in the morning. I hope you can join us then. And in the afternoon, as a bonus treat, you'll also get to hear from Sarah Lloyd Winder, again, right here in the Epic Tales corner of the World Storytelling Cafe, who's got an amazing story that isn't just from the past, but is also from the here and now. How does that work? You can find out Monday at 2 o'clock. I really hope you can join us there. Right now, though, it only remains for me to say cheerio, and I hope to hear your stories soon. So, cheerio! And I hope to hear your stories soon.